Men will put their in what they can put it in.
And they won't
So the
stay
fact
with
that
them, but they will
She just
marry.
sat here and looked at all of us and said, oh, this is what men want.
I mean, ask them.
I seem to have a problem a little bit with men, like just comments that you're making, but yet you.
I have no problem with men. I'm straight.
Well,
I
you-
love men.
I just
Good
heard.
ones.
I just heard like multiple like just negative comments about men. Like
You
they like
do
to put
realize
their.
that men are responsible for 90% of the crime.
But you're sleeping with many of them.
Yeah,
so
but
do you
we
like?
still, we still love men. Say, oh, I'm anti-man. I'm not.
I didn't
I'm
say you were
straight.
anti-man.
I f- men. A lot of them.
I didn't say you
No,
were
I'm serious.
anti-man.
I'm
pretty
so
sure
tired
that
of
we
feminists
all
being labeled
love
as
men.
anti-man. We're not. In fact, I think feminists help men because we're trying to relieve a little bit of pressure off of them. Like,
But they're
I'm
not asking
anti-man.
for that. They would rather you just respect them. They would just rather respect. They don't care about none
Just
of the
because
things
we don't
you have
worship
to
men
offer.
doesn't mean that we don't like them. I don't put them on a pedestal. I don't treat them like they're princes.
should
I'm not
be
like,
on
oh,
a
what great,
pedestal.
amazing
They
dudes.
are awesome.
I like men just fine. I'm unfortunately straight too.
Question on this side, for especially for those of you who love men, right?
Right.
What can you tell me some things you love about men?
I like men the same reasons I like women. These are all just human traits. You're funny, you're smart, you're good looking, you take care of me. I have girlfriends like that. I
But
mean
we're not
girlfriends
talking
as
about
friends or girls.
We're talking because you said that a lot of people think feminists hate men. I want to know, without talking about women, only talking about men, what do you like about men?
I guess I'm trying to think about what makes men unique, though, because when I like a man, they're funny, they're smart, they're good looking. But I could describe a woman with these terms.
Okay, so
too.
you don't think that there are things about men that are unique necessarily?
Well, I
think
mean,
that
I'm
we're putting
born straight, so I can't say like I choose to be attracted to men. Like this is how I was born. You know what I mean? So
I think that I'm attracted to men. I think they're pretty much the exact same as women. But if I were choosing like to hang out with someone one-on-one, I'd probably pick a woman because I'd probably be safer because they probably wouldn't be trying to, I don't know, have with me as an ulterior motive.
So it sounds like a lot of.
But I mean, I just don't see men as like a special category that they need to be worshipped in some separate way. Like, oh, men are really the reason why I'm here.
But don't you know that men allow you to have your rights? Because if it really came down to it, they can just overpower you and take all of your rights.
Actually, I have rights because of women. I have rights because women
You have
who
rights
came before
because
me.
of men.
The reason why I'm able to vote is not because of men, but because of hard-working women.
And who allowed it? Who voted on it?
few good
Who
men.
allowed these things to happen?
few good men.
Men, not a few. A lot of good men.
Men want a family for the sake of male validation.
Just another day in the office. Viewer discretion is advised.
Here's my unpopular opinion. They want a wife, they want kids, and they want the family unit, not because they really like those things, but because they want to impress other men. I think when you have all of those things, it kind of elevates your status as a man. Not only does it elevate your status in society, it also elevates your status socially among other men.
This is arguably the dumbest thing I've heard all week, but here we are. I've never met a man in my life that say, yo, I'm about to go get a wife, kids, protect and provide for them for the validation of other men. Ever in my life. Keep in mind, if validation is what he wants from other men, there are so many ways to go about it. He could be a player in the streets with a lot of women. He's going to get validation from men. He could be a gangbanger. He's going to get validation from men. He can build a family. He's going to get validation from men. Some of these things are just by default. They come with the package. It's within the territory. You don't have to actively be seeking validation in order to receive it. There will always be something respectable or honorable about a man that takes care of business, let alone provides for his family. Because as men, we all know that is not an easy task to perform. However, men are not doing that for the validation of other men. We are doing it for the validation of the people that we care about most, which is our wife and kids. We look at that line of duty as an obligation to us, and our reward for doing said thing is to see them happy, it's to see them do wonderful things in life, it's to see them live comfortably. We can give two fucks about the validation of other men. That's the least of our concern.
I think this is like the ultimate status symbol for men, showing that they made it in life. I think men really like the idea and aesthetic of having a family, but they also don't want to take an active role in raising kids, for example, and they want to be as passive as possible.
It's unfortunate that we even have people that think like this, but here we are again. Now, despite her starting off 10 steps in the wrong direction, there is one part I can actually agree with. That is the ultimate status symbol for a man. To have a happy, functioning, healthy family with a woman that loves you and you love her back, and a set of kids that love y'all and y'all love them back. Now, as far as you saying that men just like the idea of a family and they don't actually like being active fathers will be complete foolishness. Do men like that exist? Of course they do, but they do not speak for the majority. No different from the women that don't actually want to be wives. They just want the ring, the wedding, and the title. They don't want to actually fulfill their duty. They just want the glitz and glamour that come with marriage. Despite those kind of women existing, I know that's not the majority of women, so I would never make that kind of a statement. And this is exactly why your statement is complete bullshit. You're taking that small percentage of men and trying to draw out a large picture that's going to represent all men, and we refuse to accept that. But to conclude, men do not have families for the validation of other men. Men actually want to be active in their children's lives, let alone their families' lives. And the moment some of y'all get off the internet and go outside and try to meet and understand men, you'll realize that a lot of those things that you thought were true are not. But despite everything I said in that video, she ain't gonna listen to nothing I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
Women cheat just as much, if not more, than men, but women cheat in a different way. Women cheat emotionally. When you go through a woman's phone, it's a bunch of emotional cheating, a bunch of emotional ties that they have to men. It's particularly 1 or 2 men that'll be around for a couple of years, where she's posting memes, like, you know, trying to get his attention. He's like, oh, is this for me? You know, accepting little Cash App coffee dates from him and things like that. Every time something goes wrong in her relationship with her husband, she's running to this man online to tell him exactly what happened. And he's on her side, obviously, because he's hoping one day, you know, he's going to hold it out, because he has nothing to lose right now. He's not paying any bills for her. He's not really doing anything for her. You know what I mean? He's being an emotional ear for her, hoping, you know, that one day when she does leave her husband, he's gonna be, you know, the first one up to taste that, you know what I mean? And so it's like, women, though, they will divorce their husbands for cheating physically, but they've been cheating emotionally the whole time. And they will try to say it's not the same thing, but it is the same thing, because women are emotional creatures. So you are being emotional. You're giving yourself to someone emotionally. That is a form of cheating. Whether women want to admit it or not, that is a huge form of cheating. And that's how the connections start. I think that's actually worse, because this man knows you inside and out. Your husband and this girl, she don't even know his last name. And now she just looks dumb at this point. But this man that you've been emotionally cheating with for years knows your kids' birthdays, knows your co-worker's business, knows every single thing about you, because you guys are emotional. Well, you're emotionally tied to him. It's not to say he's emotionally tied to you back. You know what I mean? He could have a wife, kids, girlfriend, anything he's not telling you about. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, women will divorce their husbands for physically cheating when they've been emotionally cheating the whole time, and they will try to say it's not the same thing. But I promise you, if you go through that girl's DMs, she got a couple of people from out a year or 2 that she's been talking to daily, if not hourly. You know what I mean? So yeah, women, the secret.
But you said women deserve less, so
Yeah,
therefore,
yeah,
I deserve less.
Yeah, I don't think men should be simping on women. They got to earn that.
But you clearly haven't earned it yourself. I'll explain this in crayon eating terms.
Sure, yeah.
Why should men not be simps?
I think you mean, why should men not be simps?
Yeah, why shouldn't they?
When you're a simp, women don't respect you.
If it's the other way around, women should not be simps for men.
Well, no, actually, women should simp for their man, because men typically know how to deal with attention and validation from women better than women do. Women don't really know how to appreciate male attention, because you guys get so much of it. Because since we don't get the abundance of attention that you guys do, we're able to better appreciate that attention when we do get it.
So men should not be simps for women, not even including their wives?
Well, even with your wife, you don't want to be a simp. Obviously, you don't want to be a pushover. I'm saying treat her well, obviously, but you don't want to be a simp either. Being a simp is basically showing an unreciprocated amount of attention and validation to a female that's not doing the same. So we have a few more minutes. Let's go to the next person.
You know what? Sure. Of course, it's been a pleasure talking with you, Kenny.
No problem.
He, she, they, pronouns.
Sure.
When you flip on the TV or, you know, whatever media you're using, you're not hearing about the women usually. It's about the men's game. So, I mean, that's so critical.
The women got a pool, or got paid out from a pool of $30 million from the Women's World Cup. The men would draw from a pool of $400 million, okay? $400 million, $30 million. Why is that? It's because the Men's World Cup generates $6 billion in revenue. The Women's World Cup generates $131 million in revenue. If you want to talk about pay disparity, the Women's World Cup players get paid out 20% of the total revenue. The men get paid out 7%. As a percentage point, they are getting much more. The problem is, for anybody desiring equal pay, and by the way, I think equal pay is a ridiculous concept in and of itself. If the women generate more revenue, they should get paid more than the men. Don't strive for getting the same. Strive for getting what you're worth. And if you're worth more, then get more.
You know, modern women, they find themselves in awkward positions because they don't know when they are outnumbered. They don't know when they are out leveraged. And so they go into a lot of these situations thinking, well, I'm just gonna, you know, bulldoze my way to glory. I'm gonna out-talk. I'm gonna argue my way to victory. And it doesn't really work like that. Like some were saying, because of men, you have your rights today. That's why. If a man didn't want you to have any rights, you wouldn't have any rights. If it comes down to it, like say for instance, a guy says, hey, I don't want you stepping on my land. And another guy says, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. There's going to be some sort of fight if there isn't any peace treaty. That's kind of how the world works today in simple terms. Hey, I want this. I don't want you to have it. Well, I'm going to take it. No, you're not. And that's when war and stuff ensues, right? And so somebody got to lose. And in this situation, it's probably going to be you as the woman. You're probably going to lose. But for some men that said, no, I'll stand up for you. I'll fight for you. You need somebody to go to bat for you? I'll do that. But as you can see, these modern women don't really understand what they're talking about. So they just sit up in a room and holler and scream and they say stupid stuff and they get what they get.
It is a good feeling when you're out there dating and you find you a chick who feels like she has potential. Y'all check this out.
So I was talking to a woman for about 5 days, not even a whole week. So for about 4 days strong, man, we having great conversations, bro. I'm thinking in my head like, okay, she cool. Mama cool to the mom.
Okay, this is good. Good conversation. She seems cool. I like where this is going.
Day 5 came. I'm talking to mama, but this time she sounded a little down and out. So, you know, what's going on? What's wrong? You good? You okay? And she like, yeah, I'm good. I really don't want to talk about it. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to probe. You feel what I'm saying? You don't want to talk about it. I ain't going to force you to talk about nothing you don't want to talk about.
So let me get this right. This normally bubbly chick all of a sudden is on the phone with you sounding sad. And when you ask what's wrong, she tells you she doesn't want to talk about it. It's not good.
So then she, you know what I'm saying? When I said that, she was like, yeah, I guess I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
She didn't want to tell you about it. But as soon as you said, never mind, then she decided she wanted to tell you what was going on.
It's about to go down.
And she was like, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, my light's about to get cut off. I need $150. Damn. And I'm like, I really thought Shorty liked me, bro. Like, I really thought Shorty liked me, bro. Like, I really thought I was making a friend. You feel what I'm saying? I really thought I was making a connection. Then on day 5, she hit me with the, yeah, my light's about to get cut off. Like,
there are so many women out there who don't believe women are out here doing this or running this same old stale game plan that they've been running since the 80s. Now, men my age, we all understand. If you're talking to a chick, everything seems normal, and all of a sudden she hits you with that depressed voice, we know what's going on. But I like to share these videos for the young dudes. Understand that is a play. That is like the Statue of Liberty play you draw up in the backyard with one of your friends. It's the same thing every time. And once they suck you in and you ask the question, what's wrong? They then tell you they need money. And it's funny because these chicks are still running it like men don't know what that is. I'm happy this man knew what it was and he did exactly what you were supposed to do. He called it for what it is. That chick does not like him because women who like you will never do nothing like that to you. So all you do is you pick your head up and you move on. That's what you do in this situation. But it does suck because this man thought he had a genuine connection with a chick only to find out she was part of the Flat Purse Posse. Man.
Jasmine Crockett was never going to win that election. Okay. For those of you who are new here, I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in love and relationships, self-development, and finances, and I have been doing so for a decade. Now, hear me out. Everything I'm about to say to you guys, I need you to take your emotions and your feelings about the topic, about Jasmine, about Black women in politics out of it. Take your emotions out of it. We are going to be speaking practically and we are going to be speaking logically. If you are unable to be practical and logical and not emotional, you need to skip this video because I'm going to piss you off. As someone who has coached predominantly Black women, and about 60 to 70% of those Black women are typically high earning women. Okay, so understand that this is something I see on a regular basis in my business. And I have helped these women and some of the women who weren't high earners make more money, become the boss they wanted to be, get the jobs they want to get, save the money that they want to save, become more financially responsible, the whole nine. So I have just a little bit of expertise in this topic. When you are in certain fields, such as politics, as a Black woman, there are things you cannot do. You have to be a certain type of way to get to where you want to go. I'm not saying it is right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it is what it is. And it goes back to exactly what my mother taught me. You have to work twice as hard to have half as much as them. Y'all saw Trump come in here and be an egregious person, right? A criminal, a liar, a thief, all the things. And you said, you know what? We can put a progressive woman like Jasmine in office, because if they can have Trump, we can have Jasmine. She's not a criminal. She's not a thief. She's calling it what it is. She's saying it real. She's speaking from the voice of so many of us, which I don't disagree with. But the manner in which she conducts herself, the manner in which she says things, the manner in which she puts herself on political platforms, I knew off rip that she was not going to get that seat, because they do not want to see us in that light. And if you are signing up to be a politician or to be in any of these type of fields, you have to understand that. You have to have a certain level of etiquette and demure that they may not have to have. So you can't come and show your personality. You can't come and be for the people and be the home girl. Y'all know I love my people, but I'm saying what it is. As a Black woman, when you want to put yourself in those environments, be prepared to code switch like crazy. Be prepared to be extremely professional and extremely poised, because that is the only way that they can accept us. So understand, if you want to be yourself, which I condone 100%, you may have to fight the fight in a different kind of way. Stay safe.
This is a purely hypothetical question for the ladies of the panel. If you were a single man and you now had to look for a woman to be your wife/life partner, what type or types of women would you avoid?
One who's argumentative, one who doesn't know how to apologize, one who does not take accountability, one who cannot steward a relationship appropriately, one who does not respect me, one who does not show love to her friends and her family, one who does not know how to be a mother, one who does not know how to build a house as well. You can learn how to cook, you can learn how to clean, you can learn how to put some pictures on your wall, because I need you to make it a home. One who judges me, because when I come to you, I want to know that when I communicate with you, I will not be judged, so I will feel safe. We tell men we want to be safe and we want to be secure. You think they don't want the same thing? That's a basic human need. I couldn't imagine being a man coming to a home and a woman's always arguing with me. What? I got to deal with the world, and you mean to tell me my home is not my safety? I got to come to a home with 4 white walls while you going out and having brunch with your girls, but you can't put pictures on a wall. You can't make it homey. You won't even build a basic skill of cooking. You can go out to McDonald's, you say, well, I just don't cook. Well, maybe you can learn. For a moment, make it homey. You don't even pray right. What you talking about? We always talking about submission, but you don't submit to nothing. That's the reason why you so irresponsible, why you so responsive, why you always going back and forth. That's the reason why you so immature, because you don't submit to nothing but yourself and Instagram. I can't be with a woman who always wants attention. I can't be with a woman who prioritizes her friendships over me. Yeah, your friendships are important, but remember that I'm important as well, because we building something. I can't be with a woman who lacks ambition. I can't be with a woman who don't know how to carry the weight as well, because it may be some days I always want to talk about 50-50 and 100-100. There may be a day where I face life. I'm trying to protect you. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to do everything else. And today I can't present it 100%. You cool with me trying to love you at this very little capacity that I have, but I'm still extending my love. Are you going to be graceful? Can you extend me mercy? I can't be with a woman who's not forgiving, because I'm a human and I'm going to make mistakes. And this ain't about cheating. One day I may be angry because of life outside of you, and I may be irritable when I come to you, and it has nothing to do with you. Can you forgive me though, baby? I can't be with that type of woman.
If men should pay for dates, what should women do? If men should be chivalrous, what should women do?
Be ladies.
But you've already disqualified. You cannot definitionally be a lady if you're a worker.
Exactly.
So I guess beyond being a worker. If we can say men should do these things, what can we say women should do?
Treat you with kindness and respect and love.
But I'm looking for something that is unique to women. So for example, when you say men should pay for first dates, men should be chivalrous, men should provide, protect, that's one direction. That's going from men to women. But so again, the question is, and I'm getting crickets here, what should women uniquely do? Checkmate. Nothing. Come on.
Crack. Hit. Crush. Smash. Why are you always obsessed with being against women? Like, why can't you even make love? Hold. Care. Everything is related to with y'all.
Who gonna tell her? You know what? I'm gonna tell her, since y'all scared to tell her. Lady, men don't talk about smashing their wives. Men don't talk about crushing their fiancés. Men don't talk about cracking their girlfriends who they consider to be wifey. Men only say stuff like that when they're talking about women they don't know anything about, women they don't take seriously, or hoes, throwaways, toss-ups, smash and grabs, one-hitter quitters. That's the language they use for those women. So this doesn't have anything to do with it's just slang. It's the same way we make up words for everything else. The real thing of importance you want to pay attention to is who are they talking about when they are using these words. So if you only hear the men around you and your friends referencing you girls like that, either those men don't know a lot about you, they don't take y'all seriously, or they think y'all some hoes. I hope it's the first one, but I don't really know. I'm just telling you what the possibilities are here.
You know, a lot of these modern women, and to kind of what CJ was saying, they reference you because it depends on where you are. And you know, you have modern women that act like that. And so when you get referenced like that, it might be time for you to take a step back and figure out why you are being referenced like that. Why does he think of me this way? Did I do anything? Is he just a disrespectful person? If he's a disrespectful person, blocked, get out of the way, leave me alone. Am I acting like that? I can block him. I can get him out of my face and call him disrespectful and cuss him out, but that's not going to change the fact that that's what I be doing. It's not going to change the fact that I've been acting that way. So you need to figure out where you are and why that man is saying those things about you. Most modern women, unfortunately, they act that way. And so when a man approaches you like that, whether he says it outright or whether he behaves in that manner, now I'm not condoning it, I'm just saying, when he behaves in that manner towards you, maybe he can look around and maybe we can be honest and say he saw a video. Maybe he heard something from you. Maybe he seen you dressed a certain way. Maybe he seen you present yourself a certain way, shaking your pond and doing stuff like that. But of course, accountability.
Oh my God, you're not making me feel loved. You're not meeting my needs. You're not doing the thing that I told you that I wanted you to do. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. For 2 weeks, women who are critical, dominating, and controlling and whiny need to shut up. And I've been there. I've been her. I have been in your shoes. And I am telling you that you will never, ever be attracting to the type of man you want, and you will never be successful in changing that man. Because when I tell these women who are female clients to shut up for 2 weeks and to not complain to their partner, not to bring up any issue for 2 weeks, they can't do it. They're like, well, that's just gonna mean that I'm okay with their behavior. And I'm like, you're already okay with it. This has been going on for how long and you've not left? You're already okay with it. This challenge doesn't mean you're okay with it. This challenge is going to show you why the f*** you stay. It's going to show you where you're not free, where you have these control issues that keep you in something that you're not even happy in because you don't know how to soothe yourself. So you go crying like they're your mommy or daddy to come rock you back to sleep because you can't process your own disappointment. And that is the problem. I have gotten a voice note every single day from the women who are doing this challenge. Like, I have not had one successful day. Like, we're always fighting it. I almost feel like it's worse. And I'm like, yeah, because you're going through the withdrawals, because you're addicted. You're addicted to the false hope and the false starts. You love to snort possibility up your nose and you're like, wow, the man that he could be, he said he was going to change. And then you get surprised when you have the crash. because you don't like the actual process that it would take to have a healthy relationship or to become a healthy partner, because in your eyes, that would be boring. Results come from consistency. Consistency is mundane. You're not going to have these fights. Most of the time, it's just going to be you sitting alone. I'm like, okay, well, I probably shouldn't. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, let me move on with my life and go focus on my own goals and dreams. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a whole lot of nothing going on in your relationship, because that's what a healthy one is. It's one that brings peace, not one that brings stress. But you don't want that as much as you say you do, because it is foolish to think that you can change another man with your whining. You can't even change yourself with all the motivation you have. And these women do want to change. They want to, but even with all the motivation, it's a struggle. And whining isn't going to make a man motivated. So you're making an unmotivated man try to change. Foolish.
You want my number?
Yeah, I want your number.
Really? No,
What?
I'm
This your-
good. I'm good. I'm so good.
You said this is your brother?
No, it's my man.
Oh.
Seriously.
Oh shit.
You're not gonna say nothing. You're fine if I give him my number.
I'll send
Yeah, sure.
That was a test and you failed. Your man is not obligated to risk his health and safety every time another man wants your attention, right? It is up to you to make the decision not to give your attention to these men. What that woman should have immediately done is, this is my man, I'm getting behind him. Talk to him about it. What this woman should have done is immediately told him, get the f*** out of my face. You see that I'm here with my man, right? That's what the woman should have done. What did the woman do though? The opposite. And ended up giving out her number. It is not your man's job to fight for you. It is your man's job to protect you. Now, if this man came up and started harassing you, then yeah, you should be looking at your boyfriend like, are you going to do something about this? But if a guy comes up and asks you to give you his phone number or vice versa, a man's not obligated to do except see what you do as a result, right? Because at the end of the day, he's not obligated to get into a fight with every man that happens to want your phone number. What he's doing is he's seeing where your loyalty lies, especially while you're right in front of his face, right? If you're willing to give out your phone number with your man right in front of your face just because he didn't say anything, then you would probably give it out no matter what. Congratulations, you failed. With that being said, the prankster is corny as because jokes like this are not funny. And nobody should be thinking that they're funny. You're literally ruining relationships as a joke, right? But at the same time, you can say that he's helping relationships because this man is no longer going to spend time with a woman who would willingly give her phone number out to anybody. And as a man, you should have the integrity to at least speak up, but I completely understand not speaking up if you want to see how your woman would react to something. Last I checked, I'm not allowed to speak for you, so I'm not going to put myself into a situation or insert myself somewhere that I have no business being, because if I was to step up and say something, then you would have a problem with that too. And you also have to understand the mentality that this society has, right? Because we're in a society where women aren't property, right? Which is fair. But at the end of the day, the reason why men were so meticulous on no man touching or talking to their woman is because that woman was theirs. Now we live in a society where a woman can wake up and decide she doesn't want to be yours anymore. So why would you risk your health and safety or risk going to jail for an over a woman that doesn't even belong to you?
In order for us to achieve peace on planet Earth and get the things that we want to get out of this life, we're going to have to delete 90% of men. Yes, that includes your awful baby daddy and your ancient father. So if I was president of the universe, we would literally structure society so that we can finally achieve a matriarchy. But in order to do that, we have to get rid of most men because let's just face it, most men are not going to change.
In internet speak, delete means. And we have a woman here who's saying, in order to achieve our ultimate goal as radical feminists, we're going to have to delete around 90% of men. Can you imagine if a man got on an app and said, if we want to fix the problem with modern women today and the feminists, then the easy fix would just be deleting them. That would be like perfect B-roll for propaganda that wants to highlight channels like myself and call them toxic. but you will never see this, right? Unless if you're, of course, subscribed to a channel like mine.
Literally not enough time on planet Earth to change the heart of a trash man. And there's nothing you can do. We would literally need the second coming of Christ in order to change some of these men on this planet. And so
It's
what I'm
coming.
suggesting is that we literally get rid of them using the science that we already have. Elon Musk has said that by the year 2031, we will be able to support life on planet Mars. So I'm suggesting that we ship 90%, the bottom 90% of men to Mars so that we can achieve the patriarchy. And what does that leave us with? That leaves us with the top 10% of men.
Mind you, she's quoting the smartest person she can think of, who happens to be a man who many of these women dislike, either for his political stances and his views on masculinity, which he's spoken very much about, and they think they can survive without men. Hilarious.
5% of which are the men who are loyal to their wives and devoted husbands. And the other 5% are the men who have amazing gene pool, great IQ, good bone structure, good hair, skin, tall, fine as fuck. You know what I'm talking about. So since 2031 is a couple years away, that gives us enough time to decide what are the traits that we want to keep from the men on planet Earth and how do we want to repopulate the planet. We can have sporting competitions to decide who is the most athletic. We can have mental competitions to see who is the smartest, the best IQ. We can have social competitions to decide who has the best heart and who is the most emotionally viable. But if we want to actually have a chance to fight as a matriarchy and become the great planet that we know we can be,
We just have to delete 90% of men.
Do you guys think that I'm being misogynistic or sexist?
Yes.
Yes? What was sexist?
I feel like some points you made, as in like the cooking and the cleaning and the constant, like, you know, always being there to take care of you. I feel like that's an expectation that men hold a lot for women. And I just don't agree with that, because I feel like, wouldn't you want your woman to be independent and have her own career and make her own money so that you're not fully, but think about it.
So like
Equal
when
for both
women want
sides.
men to pay for dates, are they being sexist?
Not necessarily, no.
If it's okay for women to say men should, why can't men say women should? In society, if a man says women should, that's going to be labeled with sexist, misogyny, but there's never this criticism when women say men should.
You know, I want to highlight what Diana was talking about when she was having those ladies do that challenge. Just be quiet for 2 weeks. Stop complaining and doing all that stuff for 2 weeks. They can't do it because they always have something to complain about. They're always looking at the man that's doing something wrong. He's always doing something wrong. There's never any time where he's going to do something right. He's going to make me completely and totally happy. Never. And they love to complain. Nobody is, and it's just for 2 weeks. I think if you're quiet for 2 weeks, even for a week, you gain clarity on what's going on. Is it a big deal? Is he going to handle it? Do I have to handle it myself? Most modern women, instead of fixing their own issue, they would rather complain. And then when they go and fix it, that creates another complaint and something that you can hold over the man's head. That's what they do. If you start being quiet, you'll find out if the man actually cares about you. The man will be like, man, she hasn't said anything in a while. Let me go see what's up. Hey, you all right? Oh yeah, I'm all right. I'm just chilling, just working. And you're not really saying much. Is everything going on at work? Is everything okay? Yeah, it's all right. I just figured I would, challenge myself to not complain as much. But I did want to talk to you about certain things, but I was just trying to, kind of calm myself down and not have so much of an attitude when I come and make it seem like I'm nagging. And so, yeah, whenever you're ready, I'd like to talk to you about some things and see if we can get on the same page, if that sounds okay with you. Okay. Well, is right now okay? Is right now a good time? Yeah. And see where you can go from there. But if the man has to come into the door every single day with you nagging, he got to hear you nagging all throughout the day.
I see why she's married, and women really have to understand this.
Men melt when a woman speaks softly. But a lot of women don't want to hear that because they think being sweet makes them look weak.
One word, feminism.
But that's a huge mistake because a woman's greatest power is her softness. Think about it. If he wanted another alpha energy in his house, he would have married another man.
And we get called sassy for trying to hold women accountable. Isn't that crazy?
So if you ever have caught yourself thinking, he never does anything that I ask him to, it's probably because you talk to him like you're another guy challenging him. Try using your feminine, soft, lighter tone of voice more often and just watch how differently he treats you.
For the women that are still listening, please listen to the last part.
I've never heard a no from my husband when I speak to him gently. He's even told me that he can't resist when I ask that way. If it feels hard to switch into that sweet version of you, it's because you've permanently turned on that masculine energy without even noticing.
Yeah, I really don't have to say too much after that because she really explained everything. And this is exactly why she's married. A lot of women don't understand. The way you treat a man makes him want to do so much for you. And y'all really would want to give that up because you want to compete with the man that you're with. Because it really amazed me that a lot of women will go to their job, talk to their boss politely, respectfully, arrive on time, do what he says. But when you get home, you give your husband the most miserable attitude ever. Yeah, I know an argument might be, my husband doesn't pay me, but your husband will sure put his life on the line, and your boss will definitely replace you the moment you call out being sick. Conclusion, women, please try to respect your husband a little more. Be more soft. It makes the world a better place. And if you don't, y'all wonder why I say this. And you want to get married. Pack it up.
I know you didn't mean it when you were saying other races are better, right? But we hear that so much, like, oh, I like dating a Hispanic girl. You only dated one or two Hispanic girls. Like, why is it a full race? Like, you may have like a girl in high school that was black that broke your heart, but now all black women are trash, and it's not true. Like, it's
majority of them are not fit for marriage.
so many black women, especially my friends that I know, they're so nurturing and loving and caring, and
no, you're not. You're loud and
there are all those things that you said that was better in another race. But the only difference is that they're black.
no, it's not. The difference is your personality sucks. You're aggressive, you're independent, and you chose the bear.
You know, like, so I don't get when people say that.
We're the only community as well where, you might hear, I don't need a man. And you have a lot of single black women. And I don't think that's, we speak a lot of things that we may not necessarily intend to come across that way. But again, it goes back to our history.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
It goes back
We
to
do
history.
intend it, though. We intend it because that's what we're taught. But again, because we don't know the history, we don't know why that comes out of survival. So I will have clients all the time who will say, oh, I don't want a black woman. Spirit, because y'all are too hard, y'all are too mouthy, y'all are too this, too. And I always say, well, what you're saying is that she's too much for you.
According to marital records, she's too much for everybody.
You're not saying because you can't define what is too anything for somebody else. But also, if you don't understand the history, black women have had to learn how to survive.
We don't want to hear anything about slavery that none of you have experienced. When are you going to leave off of the Harriet Tubman gig? It's either do better or don't. Either way, you'll be judged for it.
You name it. And so you cannot count on him always being there. And you have to be strong enough to keep going. You have to be motivated enough. You have to save your life and everybody else's life around you. So that was a survival.
Have to be strong enough to keep going. You're making excuses for how nasty your guys' behavior is. Black people need to put slavery behind us, and to an extent. We've tried the way of constantly talking about it. So it wouldn't hurt for us to stop talking about it as much and start seeing what we could do if we stopped talking about it as much and looked forward ahead.
I read a post one day and it said, how you don't like single mothers and you came from one. I don't know other men's story, I just know mine. Sorry, I'm a little congested and emotional. But let's continue. You would think that the childhood I grew up in, that I wouldn't even look a single mother's way. Every woman that I dated besides the first one had kids. And I honestly don't think I would do it again. My mommy issues decided to pick women who are just like my mama so I can save her through them. Definitely put myself through a lot of trouble. But as a child with a single mother who chose to be a single mother, because most of y'all are not really single mothers, you just think that you know better than your baby daddy, so you cut him off. As far as I know it, my father has always been stable. He wasn't even on child support, and he's giving my mom $275 to $300 cash in my hands to hand to her. When anything broke, like the toilet or the washing machine or the AC or the heater, my dad was always there to fix it, to pay for it, to make sure it was good, because I was there. He got married when I was 2 years old, and he's still with that woman to this day. Their house was so clean and structured that even though we came from the same race, or we are the same race, it was a culture shock. Everything that I went through in childhood, I didn't have to go through. And that's most kids that are attached to single mothers. Now, for the single mothers who really don't have a choice, your baby daddy really ain't. Not because you want to control something, but he's just really not there. He's not. I'm sorry. May God be with you. But for you mothers who have baby daddies who want to be there, but you think you know better, you're failing your kids. I don't care what you say it, how you feel, you're failing your kids. When I finally got connected with my dad, I loved going over his house. Mom got mad, she would take me away, and I wouldn't see him for 3 to 4, 5, 6 months, maybe a year. I felt that heartbreak. Every time my stepmom made me a good plate, I done take it home. I'm going to eat that when I get off to school tomorrow. I come home and it's in the trash. Everything in the house would be frozen. I would have to wait until she come home to thaw something out, since I wasn't allowed to use the stove, but only the microwave. I would tell her how much fun I had with my daddy, and she would be like, oh, it's just Disney World over there, huh? She would make me clean my room before I went to go see my dad, let my sisters destroy it while I'm not there, and then when I get back, she'd be like, boy, clean up this room. One time she was like, you want to go stay with your dad? I said, yes. She was like, pack up your then. So I did. She came in and seen that room was packed. She said, oh, you for real? Came back and would fire my ass until one of her little boyfriends came and was like, yo, just chill out. Just chill out. He didn't even do nothing wrong. And she was like, that. I do everything for him. By choice, and you sucked at it. She wanted love so bad, so I seen a lot of men not even understanding that every man that she brought around me just made me trust her less and less and less. And she turned me into an adult very fast. Change your sister diaper. Watch your sister. Make sure your sister make it on time with you to school. You heard that? Did you recognize what I just said? We went from when she was a little baby, changing her diaper, giving her milk, to all the way till she made it to elementary as well, and we going to elementary together, and now I'm still doing the job. I would tell her, Mom, I don't like how you're whooping my sisters to force them to call the next man that you got daddy. People like, boy, shut up and go sit down before I whoop your ass. Sometimes she would be all nice and sweet and be like, come here, baby. Who you love the most, me or your daddy? And I'm like, I love both of y'all. And she used to be like, he don't love you. Where he at? You ain't seen him in months, have you? But she didn't acknowledge that I realized that was because she said, F you can't see your son. She'll be with my for some shit I did, and I'd be like, Daddy! 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 And she'll whip me harder and tell me to shut up before she give me something to cry about. It's not a one-man job. I hear people say all of the time, like, why you give your dad grace but not me? Because why the f did you do that? Do you know how that affected me as an adult? And not only that, since it affected me so much, you kicked me out the house and made me the black sheep of the family. Like, it wasn't y'all fault that I was... Yeah. That's probably why.
I said that women, ultimately, we are making the choice to not keep children sometimes. And I'm saying to you, that could be true. However, what are the factors that are leading us up to do this? And you're saying...
It's just women.
Is this fact-based or is this your opinion?
Women hold all of reproduction rights in America. Men do not hold any reproductive rights in America. So how is it men's fault?
They play every part in that.
Let me use an analogy, right?
Go ahead.
So if it's the case that being in shape or being out of shape is all in your hands, which is true because you put the food in your mouth and you can choose not to put the food in your mouth. So it's your choice. Would it be logical if you gained a whole lot of weight and got real fat to blame it on Walmart for making you fat? Or did you choose to buy all of that food and eat all of that food at Walmart? That'd be all of your choice. So that analogy maps onto women holding all reproductive rights is their choice. So if a chick is fat, she fat not because of Walmart, she fat because of her choices. If a chick aborts her child, she aborted her child because of her, not because of the man.
I think you can probably discuss slavery in the way of, maybe a historical view, and you could even see it in society today, some of the remnants of it, and it definitely is a challenge. But I think people who don't want to, and when I say move forward, I mean, this happened to me. What am I going to do about it now? You know, obviously you don't want people coming in and insulting you. You don't want to hang around people that do that type of stuff, because that's ignorance, right? But it'll be like somebody who got in a car wreck, a really bad car wreck, and they go through the steps in the process to get healed, but they're still talking about, well, you know, I got in that bad car wreck and, you know, I haven't been the same since. Well, in what way? What do you mean? Well, you know, I just, my back hurts, and, you know, well, my back hurt at one point. It didn't really hurt like it used to, but it used to hurt really, really, really bad. So I can't go to the gym anymore because my back used to hurt really, really bad. And I'm afraid that if I go in the gym and start working out really hard, it's going to start hurting again. And somebody can probably step in and say, well, you know, yes, taking your injury into account, this is what you want to do to protect yourself and to make sure that you don't re-injure yourself. I can train you. I can help you out if that's what you want. If you don't have the money for that, you can watch online, get in some YouTube videos and learn how to train yourself. That way you protect your back, you don't get injured again, and you can get stronger, you can lose the weight, and you can be healthier overall. But when you're using things like slavery over and over again, it's like bringing that back injury. I understand it, but you can do things to get stronger and be healthier overall. And that's what a lot of people need to remember. Yeah, we got slavery. Yeah, we still got people acting ignorant even today, saying ignorant stuff. That happens. But how are you going to move forward for yourself? How are you going to move forward for your family? How are you going to move forward for the next generation? And I think particularly for modern women, that's just another tool in your tool belt, your utility belt, so to speak, of I've been done wrong, I have to be strong and independent. Everybody hates me. You got to move on past that.